So from the community, I've gotten lots of questions about you guys and the stuff you're working on. Can you guys explain what is the BM9000 and what are you guys trying to do with it?
Yeah, yeah, boy, let me do this real quick, man, because I've been shooting so hard, man. The BN9000 is 100% free online beat machine. It's a beat machine that me and Void had came together to make, and it's super easy, super simple to use. We basically have made something for people, brand new people who are just starting out producing music. They haven't really married any particular software. Probably younger kids, younger adults just getting into it, man. So the BN9000, you don't even have to log in to our beat machine. There's no downloads needed. You don't have to log into anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just go to the website, basemoney.io, and start jamming, right? We got sounds just right there. All of a sudden, you can take it from our sound bank, 300 sounds, start laying them out super easy in a sequencer, make a beat within minutes. It's super easy to do. So that's what it is, man. It's a online beat machine. It's free and made for the beginner to get into making beats really quick.
How did you guys connect BM9000 with, let's say, decentralized identity? What was kind of the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, I mean, we were building on ArcBlock, and we saw that they had some tools that were we were able to use to the DID space, the decentralized space, and so that's what we needed something for our app to be able to hold these sounds, and for our users to be able to hold their sounds, and so that's how we came in through the decentralized door was recognizing, wow, there's this space. And what's really cool about this decentralized space is that the owner of it is doesn't have to give up their information in order to get it. So we were that's how we came to it. We just thought the space was really cool and picked it up from there. What'd you think about that, boy?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I think we really wanted to leave it up to the user whether they wanted to share things or not, and so that was kind of the base premise for using did space like that is they have full control over it. They can go in and delete all their songs if they want. They never have to share them with anybody. We don't have access to them if they don't, if they don't share them. Uh, so it's, yeah, it's decentralized in that format. It's not just on their hard drive. They can access the app from anywhere and load all their songs and sounds from anywhere. So that was really important, and that kind of shaped how we built it originally.
So let me ask, like, as you were thinking about the product from the beginning, and maybe let me rephrase the question. What's been your impression using BM9000 from when you guys started, what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago to today? Like, how has it changed over time? Like, as you guys have used it more and more and more?
I mean, I think it was very crude. It was kind of a proof of concept when we first launched it. And we, from the get-go, before we even started building it, we had, a roadmap and a lot of ideas about features that we wanted it to have. And those of course, have evolved. But we just wanted to prove that it was possible, basically, for the first iteration. And so it looks completely different and has, more features in these past 5 months than when we started with. And that is just continuing. We still have like a very ambitious roadmap for like what we want to add to it.
Yeah, it's getting
That's
easier to
about
use.
it, right?
It's getting easier to use. It's getting more sticky because of the different features that we're adding to it, and we're being really careful that we don't like just add all of the features, right? Any old feature, like we want to be very specific. Like, is this a feature that a new novice person could use? Is this going to confuse somebody before we just start throwing all those features at them? Because we want this to be kind of that link in between people's, going to the big dogs. Well, I think also, Matt, real quick, let me touch back on that decentralized thing, man, because we wanted to make an app ourselves that we didn't have to put onto an app store. And so that also is why we started to use,
Yeah.
why we chose to do this way, is that we, as the creators of the app, we didn't want to be beholden to Apple or anything like that. And so we thought it was really cool that ArcBlock was having this new wave, right, of having the blocklet store. And so we want to be a part. We want to be a part of that. And so that was also it. But I think more support what I'm saying is, and why it's different, just to tie it together, why it's different now is that, well, that was the beginning of it. We wanted to be off Apple. We wanted to be our way at this new wave. And then we were like, yeah, we want people to have their own decentralized space. Really, what it's come down to now is that we just were like, yo, we want to have all of these things totally frictionless. And we just want people to be able to come in and just be able to bump into this thing and make a beat. And that's really the difference. Is like at first it was clunky. We were trying to, you had to have your you had to have a wallet downloaded, and then we crossed that hurdle. Thanks to the ArcBlock team, helping us with Auth 0, open that up. And then we were like, even this though is still some friction. And in our vision, Web3 is no friction. And so that's why, and where we're at now, and where you just press enter and it's like, boom, let's go.
Yeah, I think that I remember you posted on X. There was post that said no sign up to full control, if I remember correctly. And I think it does highlight right ease of use, really kind of this idea. How does BM9000, I mean, from your guys' perspective, how does BM9000 make music production accessible to both beginners and experts? Right. I'm a beginner, you guys are experts, but it seems to work for both of us. How are you guys accomplishing that?
Well, real quick, I'll let Boyd get it. But let me just say we are expert beginners. And I think that's qualified to make this BM9000 work.
Yeah, I think to that point, we've been making music and beats for lots of years, but we haven't really taken it seriously in the sense of we're not trying to put out albums and get famous and be on Spotify and all that, but we just love making music constantly. So, and we've used lots of tools throughout the years. And so we kind of have a sense of what the pros actually are doing, even if we don't know exactly how they're doing it. But we at least have an idea of what tools they're using. And so that's kind of guided us on that side of it. And then, as 12 pointed out, we're also beginners, and like he has a family, so that he can like bounce it off his kids and go like, can you even use this? Like, get on here and what's the first thing you do? And I'll do that with my wife and like get people that have no interest in this and see what happens. And so that's kind of been guiding us is get the normies to use it and see what happens. And that's actually provided quite a bit of insight on how we can make it better. Cause we know we've used enough tools, and like different music production software to know, like what features it's lacking. Like it's not a synthesizer and it doesn't have everything that a digital audio workstation would have. But to his point, that's on purpose right now.
Yeah, an interesting thing happened about a month ago. Is a friend of mine. I hadn't even talked to him for a couple of months, but he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, I got this neat machine. You want it? You want it for free?" I was like, "All right, cool. I'll come pick it up. Sweet." So I come pick it up, and it's a big machine. It's a piece of hardware, right? And I picked it up, and I was like, "Man, this is awesome." I take it out of the box, and I go and I set it up, and I put it onto my computer, and it's like, dude, how do I even turn this on? Right? And I was like, man. And then I got I'm reading through this manual. I'm like, dude, I got to go watch a YouTube video. And it was really at that point during the building, like a month ago, that I was like, okay, I see now what we can do here with the BM9000, because yeah, we are experts. We've been doing this for a long time, not a professional setting, but, with a passion. And I know how to give it to somebody who's just brand new, who can just not need a manual. That's what we want to do. We want to have a product where a person doesn't need a manual. That's how we're making it accessible. Right? You don't have to log in. You don't need a manual. That we do have a simple set of instructions. And so my 9-year-old son has come onto here and made complete beats on it. And without my help. And that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. How do you again, kind of going back to X, right? I know you mentioned something about flipping records with the BM9000. How do you think your creative process has changed? Like, as you're creating music, creating beats, like, do you find the BM9000 is creating new opportunities for you to create music, find new ways to create music?
Yeah, well, real quick, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what's cool is that we've taken what I was doing in a lot of ways, and Void has like been like, oh yeah, I could do that. So it's like I already had my setup on this little keyboard and stuff, and I was already doing something kind of and so I'm just telling Tim like what I was doing. And so while he's building all the BM9000, he's almost customizing it to me in a lot of ways. And so I think I'm personally probably gonna get the most out of this project out of anything, man, because it's almost like, that's what I'm saying. I can't put it down. I'm using it all the time, and he's doing that on purpose, man.
Well, and yeah, I think just anecdotally, there was the old software that I used to use called Mad Tracker. It was way old, like Windows 98 or Windows XP old, and it was my favorite thing. Like, I learned how to make music on that, and it was really primitive and all completely sample based. And so I think that was like, okay. So the point with that is I had this method that I called the mad scientist method. And I would basically just like hit all the keys at once, and just like, while it's, and it would make some very random pattern. And then I would hit delete at random times too. And that's honestly what I've been trying to recreate for myself, to use this as like a way to quickly come up with creative beats without having to, like he said, without friction. And so far, like, we've been able to kind of recreate that setting where you can just come up with a random beat that's really fun and cool, and so it brings me back to that era. But yes, to 12's point, we're making it for ourselves, because that's kind of the birth of all businesses, is we're trying to fulfill our need. And and I think that other people have this need as well, they just don't know it yet. And that's our mission, is to get people aware of it.
I was going to say, it sounds like the classic product story, right? Where we built something that we want to use, and
Exactly.
passionate and obsessive about it. I'm curious from a functionality standpoint. So one, obviously you guys are building on ArcBlock. And again, it's been great to watch that experience. I'm curious, like, from a technical standpoint, like, which blocklets did you guys start with? And what have you added along the way? Like, as you're continuing to develop, what things are you adding to it? And what do you guys, how's that changing the experience of what you're delivering?
That's on you, 12.
Virtual blocklet of the BM9000 is the BM9000. That's a blocklet that's available at the store, and people can go and launch that themselves. And I highly recommend they do so, and leave us a good comment when they do. Now, on top of that, we were using the Pages kit, and so that allows us to do different types of sharing of art and information. But I think mostly important right now is the discussion kit. Where we have the discussion kit, and that's where we're starting to have these conversations with people in the community about the BM9000. That's where me and Void are able to, through the use of passports and whatnot, we're able to have more private conversations. I can send him over design ideas, so we can use it in that way. Then with the discussion kit, with the blog. So we're also starting to really try to utilize the blog a lot more in order to give updates about what we're doing, because we think that that's really important. It's something that I really want to focus on is having our journey be transparent, because me and Lloyd are really good friends, man. And so, whatever happens with this, and I'm thinking that probably one day when we're on the yachts, that we're just sitting back and we're having like a stove. We could look back at the timeline too, and be looking at the discussion kit, looking back at these different blogs. I go, man, remember that Decentralized Me podcast, what I'm saying? And we'll have it all documented. So that's it. We're also using the voting blocklet right now, which is really dope. We got the beat challenge. So what's cool, people from the community, they came through and they put together a pool of money, a reward pool that's up to 245 ABT. And that's all online. And we're able to put that onto our webpage effortlessly, with the voting kit. So it's like, as soon as we launch a blocklet, it shows up, and then we're using it. So those are the basic ones we're using right now.
That's
Oh, just one thing. That the fact that there are so many blocklets that 12 can utilize to build this product out, kind of frees me up to just stay really focused on features for the BM9000 blocklet, which is like I don't know if we would be in this place if it wasn't for all those different blocklets that he was able to use, and kind of like free me up, and they all play to his strengths. Like he launched the beat challenge using the voting blocklet, like overnight. I didn't even know about it. We didn't even talk about it, and it was launched and ready to go. So that was very welcome. I love that.
With the voting blocklet tight, right? Because it's not like I just was like, okay, we're vote, right? It's like, no, I put this blocklet out. Now everybody has a wallet that they can send their money to, so I don't touch anything. And then people are able to come through and add their own submissions onto the blocklet, and we can all see this. And then the time's going to come where the whole group gets to publicly vote on it, so it's transparent, and then the money gets paid out super easily. So I think that would have been a difficult thing for me to set up in like 2 hours using any other tools that I'm currently aware of.
Yeah, I was just having a discussion with Robert a couple of days ago about blocklets, and one thing he said stuck out of my mind. Don't worry about the name. Don't worry about the name blocklet. It's super simple. Just try it, and you'll see. Which I think sounds like kind of what you're describing is accurate. Along those lines, like what's been the biggest technical challenge for you guys in terms of as you built this and as it's changed from the first iteration POC to where it is today?
I think the biggest challenge right now, and has been for the past few months, is struggling with using audio on the web. That honestly, it doesn't have anything to do with ArcBlock. It's especially with mobile, like iOS and Apple devices and Safari, they're very aggressive about audio resources, and they'll basically just shut off the audio silently if they need resources elsewhere, and that's an ongoing problem, and an ongoing thing that happens on your phone, on an Apple phone, is it's constantly recycling resources and clearing up things that it doesn't need. So that's just one example of some of the challenges around
that's the technical implications go. Yeah, I think I don't know of any that are particularly outstanding to me. What's cool is that, being on with the ArcBlock team here, man, when we jump onto the community page, hit up Wing Shun, and he makes some stuff happen very quickly, man. So we're super appreciative of how the team has responded to us being builders on the platform too, man. We definitely feel the love, where It was even with the voting blocklet. There was actually a small like thing. I was like, after I launched it, I was like, yo, man, if we could just add some hyperlinks right here. And
Oh yeah.
okay, the team saw that, there was some time issues there and then came through and made it happen.
Yeah.
Excuse
And to
me.
that point, the reason I didn't even bring up anything about ArcBlock is because those aren't the real challenges. Like whenever we do find something, we're not shy about calling it out in the community forums, and like it always gets addressed, and in a good amount of time. And so, um, or they rightfully tell us or tell me that I'm stupid, and like, no, this is
Your
your
fault.
fault. Which is like it's good because I learned from it. But
Then he goes into
yeah,
something entirely different that was way even cooler than what we were thinking before. And so,
yeah, exactly.
that's why I feel like sometimes when you're at the tip of the edge, tip of the spear, there's gonna be some points, some flinch points, man. And so we were just always trying to be of the mind frame like it'll get solved. Let's never make anything the reason why we are successful in doing what we are right now. Like it's just we just keep on going, man.
One of the big updates, at least I've seen recently, has been the Shadow Realm. Tell us about that. Tell me about that. Like, how did that get started, and how did you guys kind of make your pathway down finding Genesis? I think Genesis Shadow Drive as a solution for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, go ahead, Void. You could talk. Let me tell what the Shadow Realm is, because I'll tell what the Shadow Realm is really, because the Shadow Realm is the page that you go to at Base Money right now, and it looks like it's our version of a record store. Basically, you go into the Shadow Realm and you can click onto a record cover, and it's going to open up the BM9000 right there with the song template, all of these sounds, native or not, loaded up. So the Shadow Realm is where we are building a sonic community. And what Void has been able to do over the last last month is really create this dynamic in this scenario where our users are able to enter into the Shadow Realm permissionless without any friction and really make this a custom experience. So like that being said, Void, what's the Shadow Realm to you?
Well, this is kind of uh, the evolution of our original idea of like do we how do we make this shareable? And so it started with, well, we need to allow them to export their song to an MP3, and then they can save it, and then they can share it. And so that was a solution, and that feature exists obviously. And but there was something lacking, and we were like, again, with our focus on making it frictionless, we're like, really? So now they have to export the MP3, they have to upload it somewhere, and then they have to post a link to that MP3 for someone to download. So like that that takes them off our platform. They go to Dropbox or something or Google Drive and upload an MP3, which not everybody knows how to do, and do that. They can't do that on or it's very painful to do that on a phone. So that was our problem. And then it kind of evolved into, well, if we can just like share that data, or if we can basically have a way for someone else to get the song data, uh, then that kind of removes the friction point. And so now it evolved from that. That's a really terrible description, but
Because I think what you were just saying, Boyd, it went from you have to get your MP3 onto your computer. Then we went to, right now we have a shadow link where you were able to have this link that you could share with other people, kind of the same way. Then what we have now from the BM9000, you just hit share and automatically your song
populates. Yep.
chosen, the description of it, that album make on your laptop, that album is automatically uploaded into the Shadow Realm. And so the friction is taken off, and that's where I'm super excited. I'm super excited about this new event.
Do you feel that the Shadow Drive has expanded your creative boundaries in terms of things you guys do?
Massively, that's what this is. That's what we were also trying to solve. So maybe 2 years ago, me and Tim wanted to collaborate on a song. He had just gotten a new version of Fruity Loops. I'm still 10
Yeah.
behind him. We couldn't do it because I didn't have the same thing. And so our effort right there quickly fizzled out. So remixing, collaborating was something that a problem that we wanted to solve. And so by allowing people to get their shadows up into the realm easy also allows other people to get them out of the shadow realm easy into their BM 9000, and then they can automatically start remixing and collaborating. We're already doing it with people who have never made music before. Their songs are getting remixed within minutes. And so to me, that is like the ooey gooey right there, is where, yeah, man, we can really start working with each other right now. And we want to focus on that experience, collaborating, remixing, all that good stuff.
So tell me about like a specific moment in time where Shadow Drive, ArcBlock, right? They're working together. When did you have like an aha moment, like with those things kind of working together? You're like making a new piece of music or remixing something that Void sent you. Like, was there a moment in time where you're like, yeah, this is it. This is the dream that we had, 2 years ago.
The huge value that we found in Dit Space was that it's private to the user. And that serves a really valuable purpose for what we're trying to do. And then so basically the aha moment was, well, okay, it's great that you have full control over everything, and it's very private to you. You have all your songs and sounds to yourself. Um, the next step was like, can we make it selectively public to everybody? And so that's where Shadow Drive comes in. Um, and and so you get to choose. Like, I have all these private songs and sounds. And I want to make this one public. And so like anyone can view it. It's just on the web, it's just the URL. And so that's kind of the merging of those two technologies is Dead Space is used to keep everything private in its own silo, and then Shadow is used to selectively take things out of that silo and make it for everybody.
I love it. It's do you guys ever find that you send songs back and forth and remix it?
We did that with we remade Sir Mix-a-Lot's Posse on Broadway, and that's how we made that. Is basically, I think 12 started it off with he got one of the sounds and put it on a track and then sent it to me. I started building it out and then sent it back to him, and that was the first collaboration of like, oh, this is how we do it.
That's the critical thing there too, is that he didn't have to download this new song at all to really start remixing.
Yep.
And so people who make music are going to be familiar with like missing links. Right? Oh,
yep.
You got fed it, but you don't have that. Damn, sorry, can't do it. And so I think that's what we're doing here is we've created a setup where people can start to make beats and even start to like get the feel of how more professional producers and musicians are remixing them or collaborating with people or networking with people. It's like really, I think, gonna have people get their feet wet.
Yeah. Do you guys consider yourself to be a new social space? Just out of curiosity.
Man, I could not sleep last night. I'm telling you, I was having visions of our profile pages. Already sent a mock one up to Void, and he's like, dude, I could do this. Oh, we could automate this, no problem. And so it's like, yes, dude, it's going to be like your picture's going to be matte on there. It's going to have all your shadows, laid out. It's going to have different badges from, you've achieved remixing 5, you've achieved remixing 10. It's going to have all your friends who are also shadowing. It's going to have a live feed of the hottest shadows that are going through, because we're going to start having them on a ranking basis. And so yeah, this is a social movement. It really is. And I think that, being me and Void being just good friends, and that's what's anchored to our project is like a friendship, and that type of vibe. And so that's what it's a good social energy in that sense.
How are you guys thinking about AI in the future state? Because AI is kind of all around us between ChatGPT, Claude, you name it. It's everywhere. We've got Agent right within ArcBlock. Really, without giving it away, any kind of future state plans that you guys are working on. But how are you guys thinking about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like such a powerful thing that we're just kind of exploring different ways to use it right now. But like you said, we don't want to give away what we're working on, but I think that what we are working on is something that has not really been done before, uh, in the sense of like generative audio, because yeah, we want to make it in line with the BM9000 and how that works. It's not just like, oh, make a beat,
That'd be
Sorry.
wild. It's crazy. Voice cook and it's just gonna be outlandish, just like the Shadow Realm is. It's just groundbreaking technology, man. And I'm not trying to gas him up, but what he's cooking up here with the AI is gonna be it, man. It's taking us to the next level.
I know you both know this. I can't wait to see what's next for you guys. Where do I remind me again? Where do I find more information about your project, the BM9000?
Yeah, basemoney.io. That's our website. You can go there, see the BM9000, totally free, no logins needed. Start making beats right away. Go to the Shadow Realm, open up one of the shadows, start remixing a beat right away. So that's basemoney.io. You could come into the base, that's what we call our discussion area, start up a chat, start to get to meet people, and share your music right away. Basemoney.io.
Amazing. You guys, I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.